Hi, dear students. Welcome back to the new session of Class 10th CBSE online class. Today, we are going to start the first chapter of history, that is, the rise of nationalism in Europe. Already, we have completed the rise of nationalism in India. Today, we are going to discuss the rise of nationalism in Europe, the first part. I hope you remember what is nationalism we learned in the last class. It is nothing but the feeling of oneness or the feeling of togetherness with a common language, race, religion, territory, and a common history. At this chapter, we are going to learn how the countries of the European continent transformed from monarchical rule or dynastic rule to a nation state. Here, the chapter is starting with a print of Frederick Sorrieu, which depicts his famous painting, The Dream of Worldwide Democratic. After learning the details of this painting, we will learn the French Revolution and the idea of nation. Before that, we will also understand the lecture delivered by Ernst Renan, a French philosopher. He has given a new concept about the nation. After that, we will also discuss the making of nationalism in Europe as a second part, where we will understand the aristocracy and the new middle class, what is liberal nationalism, what is the idea of conservatism, and the meaning of revolutionaries. In the third part of the chapter, we will discuss the age of revolutions, 1830 to 1848, where we will discuss the romantic imagination and national feeling, hunger, hardship, and popular revolt. 1848, the revolution of the liberals. In the fourth part, we will discuss the making of Germany and Italy. The unification of Germany and Italy will be discussed in detail. Later, we will understand the last part, visualizing the nation. So these are the important concepts we are going to study in this new chapter, The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. Dear students, let us start the lesson with the great print of Frederick Sorrieu prepared in 1848. Actually, this French artist prepared a series of 4 prints visualizing his dream of a world made up of democratic and social republics. In that, the first print you can see in the picture here, it shows the people of Europe and America, men and women of all ages and social classes. They are marching in a long train and offering homage to the Statue of Liberty. You remember that the French revolutionary artist, they usually consider the Statue of Liberty as a female figure. So here you can recognize the torch of enlightenment she bears in one hand and the charter of the rights of man in the other. Just on the earth you can see the shattered remains of the symbols of absolutist institutions. After the absolute monarchy was demolished, the Statue of Liberty or democracy came to power. So down of the picture, you can see shattered remains or remnants of the absolute institutions in the picture. So according to Sorrieu, the people of the world are grouped as distinct nations. You can see in the picture, there are different flags in the hands of the people. They have worn different cultural or different countries attire or dress or costumes. So they are leading the procession. They are passing the Statue of Liberty. You can see the United States. You can see Switzerland, which is already a nation state. France. You can see the tricolor flag of France. France is followed with Germany bearing the black and red and gold flag. And actually, the German people did not yet exist as a united nation when this drawing was made. German unification happened later. After German people, you can see the people of Austria, the kingdom of the two Sicilies, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary, and Russia. So these are the different people of European countries who have joined in the procession that is passing through the Statue of Liberty. So if you see, observe the picture from the heavens, you can see above the Christ, saints and angels. They are in the scene. They have been used by the artist to symbolize fraternity. Fraternity means a group of people who share the common interest among the nations of the world. So here we can see in this drawing or in this art, Sorayu is trying to tell us the interest and notions and movement that happened different countries of the Europe towards a nation state. From the dictatorship, from the dynasty rule, or from the feudal system towards a modern republic. Dear children, in this chapter we are going to discuss a lots of issues visualized by Sorayu in this first picture. During the 19th century, the nationalism emerged as a force that changed political and mental world of Europe. We have already understood in Indian history how the nationalism emerged in India in 19th and 20th century and how we successfully expelled British. So in Europe also this movement started to happen in 19th century and completed in 20th century. What was the result of all these mass movements? The end result of these changes was the emergence of the nation state in place of the multinational dynastic empires of Europe. So we had Ottoman Empire, we have lots of empires in the Europe based on multinational dynastic empires, because in the medieval era the kings make expeditions and they prepare their own countries, ascending many nations. So from that kind of a dynastic empire, the Europe moved towards the idea of nation state. What is nation state? A nation state is a state which has a shared national identity and history. A nation state is a state which has a shared national identity and history. The idea of a modern state, where a central government with complete control over a clearly defined region, was developed over a long period of time in Europe. Remember, dear children, we are discussing in this chapter the rise of nationalism, the emergence of nationalism, feeling of oneness in Europe. So this idea of a modern state where a central government controlled the whole people of the country under a clearly defined region was developed over a long period of time in Europe in 19th and 20th century. And this commonness did not exist for a long time in Europe. It was achieved through many struggles, many efforts of leaders and the mass movements of common people. That is what we are going to learn in this chapter. In India, we have seen that how much struggle the national leaders and people have taken to achieve freedom. So, same, the commonness in Europe was achieved through a long struggles, efforts, and the efforts of leaders and common people. So, this lesson we will discuss how this process of nationalism and nation states came to start in 19th century in Europe. Dear children, before going to the next part of the chapter, we will just learn a new idea of nationalism or nation state introduced by a French philosopher called Ernest Renan. Actually, Ernest Renan was born in 1823 and died in 1892. Did a famous lecture in the University of Sorbonne in 1882. Later, it was published in an essay entitled What is a Nation? So, in this essay, this French philosopher Ernst Renan gives a different idea of nation. Actually, he criticizes the old idea of nation, that is, a nation is formed by a common language, race, religion, or territory. According to Renan, a nation is the culmination or mix of a long past of hard efforts, sacrifice, and devotion. He says that a heroic past, great men, glory, that is the social capital upon which one creates a national idea. According to Renan, to have common glories in the past, to have a common will in the present, to have performed great deeds together, to wish to perform still more, these are the essential conditions of being people. It means a nation is therefore a large scale solidarity, togetherness. Its existence is a daily plebiscite. Plebiscite means a direct vote by people. So, dear children, just understand that this Ernst Renan, the great French philosopher, gave a different idea regarding the idea of nation or nation state. He just criticized the old notion of nationalism and he said that a nation is the culmination of a long past of hard efforts, sacrifice, and devotion. That means only a state or a country which had the long past of hard efforts like India, where we had a lot of effort against British, sacrifices and devotion towards the country. So only the country which has a heroic past, great men and great effort to achieve a common interest can be called a nation. So just to keep in mind the new idea introduced by Ernst Renan in his lecture, What is a Nation? Dear children, today we have just discussed the introduction part of the lesson The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. We have in detail discussed the print of Frederick Sorrieu and what does it shows and how the lesson is prepared based on this drawing, and we have discussed the idea of nation introduced by Ernst Renan. So read the lesson very thoroughly. Nationalism in Europe is a bit difficult lesson compared to nationalism in India. You have to read the textbook thoroughly. After, you have to underline the important points. Then you have to prepare the point notes of yourself in a particular book. Then you have to read the textbook again. After, you have to solve a few of the assignment questions sent hereafter. Okay, thank you.